The following is a fan-based review. All materials discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, and Saban Entertainment.
Shift into turbo.
Let's not.
Ever.
Let's just go ahead. Get some!
But welcome to In Comparison, everybody.
That was a great opening.
I
Hi.
know. It sets the tone for the bullshit we're going to have to put ourselves through.
So much rapturous enthusiasm.
Yes, all the rapture. In comparison, episode 6.
I'm gonna go for
Five.
the Bioshock.
5 or 6.
Yeah. Yes. Power Rangers Turbo comparing to Carranger. Let's get this fucking over with, because I don't want to talk about Turbo.
Nobody does.
Yeah.
But we are here to do it for you, so you don't have to.
Let's add something this time around.
Nothing. That just sounded eerily familiar.
Let's
Let's add
Their
something
words, they all sound
this
familiar.
time. Let's add that theme song.
Because Turbo's is better.
Yep.
Turbo's is amazing.
Turbo's theme song is great.
Has that list come up yet?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's been
so
up for a while.
put annotation. Here we go. But yeah, in our top 10 Power Rangers theme song list, Power Rangers Turbo is the most hype rock thing ever, and it's great. Why couldn't the rest of the show be that good?
Power Rangers Turbo Go. Could have been a better show.
Yep.
I mean, Carranger, as we said, it's not bad. It fits the tone of the show, but Turbo is just like, yes.
Well, the thing is, the problem with Turbo is they were trying to adapt a parody season without doing a parody season. That's fucking difficult and impossible, and you're idiots.
Yes.
Saban.
It's really.
But I am Saban.
That's how we get the pizza episode. But
I will not pull a Lingara.
let's go ahead and do the characters.
Can we start with the plot instead?
No, we're going to do the plot at the end because it's an actual thing this time around.
Fair enough.
After everything else has been
Characters. Tommy,
Tommy and TJ versus Kyosuke.
I think
Decision.
Kyosuke was better than Tommy, but TJ, I did like TJ.
But TJ didn't really.
I think Kyosuke is better than both of them
Yeah.
because of what Carranger is.
True.
He serves that show better.
Yeah, I don't think that TJ really comes into his own
Until in space.
until in space.
Fair enough.
Also, this is just an actual thing this time. This is the first time that we get a full cast change in Power Rangers. It was, that's the first couple seasons where everybody was a legitimate same person. This time we ended up getting, a legitimate change through everybody. Here's a good one. Okay, so Kyosuke,
Kyosuke wins.
He's a great red. He's a great red, and he's just he's hilarious. He works for his show very well.
He's very
TJ
relatable.
and Tommy were just
They're not bad, but
they were a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah.
Especially TJ because this is his first one. I think he was in a music video, but of course he didn't have any talking during that talking. That's unwelcome. But here's Justin.
oh yay.
And Naoki.
We're going right to him.
This isn't a contest.
Well, the thing is, Naoki was kind of bland, but you still liked him. He had some funny moments. Justin is
Annoying.
90s kid.
a kid.
He's a 90s
He is
kid.
not. He is that 90s kid in movies and shows.
Thank you, 3 inches. This is all your fault.
And Home Alone and everything else.
Home Alone was good.
Yeah. Still don't know how they didn't die. But Naoki, as you said, he's bland. But he has some very interesting moments, especially when he can play off of other people.
Yeah, he interacts with his other cast members very well.
Yeah. Justin was
A kid.
he existed. That's a problem.
He couldn't really play off his castmates very well because of the age difference.
Yeah,
it
that
just didn't
age
really
gap
work.
was apparent. It's just like it's hard to, especially because you're going from Rocky to him. I mean, to be fair, you're going from one character who didn't have much character to another character who doesn't have much character. So there's that.
So many characters.
Next.
Minoru versus Adam and Carlos. Minoru was great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's something I just remember about that show.
That's the thing. The Carrangers are much more memorable than any of the Turbo Rangers.
Yeah.
Like, Adam doesn't have
even
much.
Rangers that are returning, we remember them much more in other seasons
Than we do in
this
Turbo.
than we do in this one.
Like,
Because we love Tommy, that's apparent, but not in Turbo.
yeah. Especially because, that the menu, the joke with the manual worked in Carranger. They're just like, how the hell do I operate this thing that I got tricked into doing?
Mm-hmm.
But
in Turbo, it makes no fucking sense. You've done this before. hit button, something will work.
Yeah. And Carlos...
Or yell at it.
Carlos and Adam, once again, don't really end up having much character until in space for both of them. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like, what can you do?
And when Adam gets character in space, it's not even as a Turbo Ranger. It's as the original Mighty Morphin Black Ranger. It's sad.
The second original.
But it's still awesome.
Yeah. No, it's fucking amazing.
Yeah, it's a great season. Tanya and Ashley versus Natsumi.
Natsumi's better.
Yeah. Yeah, she is. Yeah, she's really good.
Yeah.
In comparison to, it's so hard. Like, Turbo has a lot more to do with its actual plot than the characters this time around.
True.
Because we end up getting a lot more with everyone in the next season, except for Cassie. She ends up getting a lot more in Galaxy. But, yeah. Speaking of which, Catherine and Cassie versus Yoko.
That's actually a tough one. Because Yoko wasn't the greatest character. Yeah, she had her moments, but so did Catherine and Cassie.
Yeah.
That's a fuck.
That's
Jesus.
Ooh, that's hard.
I'm actually gonna go with Turbo on this one.
Yeah. Way to save Turbo, Pink. Because they were just...
I'll give it to Catherine. I won't give it to Cassie.
Because she, again, didn't
Cat
come
especially.
into... Cat especially. Because Cassie, once again, really doesn't come into her own until in space. That's the sad thing.
Plus, the first time she gets introduced, she is terrible.
Who?
Cassie?
Isn't like Tommy being attacked and TJ's like, we gotta help him, and she's like, fuck no.
I don't want to get hurt. Yeah, she's sort of terrible the first time she comes in.
Wow.
Fight or flight.
Blue Centurion versus...
They were pretty much the exact same thing, let's be real.
That is incorrect. Blue
I mean,
Centurion was, yes, he was an galactic policeman, just like Signalman.
Yeah, but I'll give you this. Signalman was more comedic, but they were pretty much the exact same role. Was just to come in...
Yeah, but a character like this, you need to make him funny.
Yeah.
You can't play Signalman straight.
Blue Centurion was scared of flies?
Was he?
Yes. It's a weird thing.
Maybe they didn't have his permission.
He doesn't have as much...
Because the sky's not his jurisdiction.
Yeah,
he doesn't have as much on-screen time as Signalman.
Maybe flies has killed his planet, who knows?
Yeah, he doesn't end up having
The
as
fly
much...
from Jungle Fury.
The fly from Exhaust. But yeah. He doesn't end up having... Blue Centurion doesn't have nearly as much screen time as Signalman. I think that helps Signalman's case, especially because he was just so memorable and so hilarious. And that the Blue Centurion was just, I'm here. Bye. And then he leaves, and then he ends up getting beaten and in space like most of the other good guys. Speaking of most of the other good guys, they're only there for a very quick moment. But the Phantom Ranger, who ends up having some romance with Cassie, weirdly enough, and VRV Master, who tried to be so serious in a show that had no business being there.
We'll have to give it to... We can't give it to the Turbo on this one because, once again, he had very little screen time.
I remember there's that whole subplot that was supposed to be a thing where he was supposed to be Zordon's son. And it never came to fruition.
I'm kind of glad it did.
By the way, and then this... I know someone's going to mention this in the comments. For this, in comparison, we are not talking about or referencing Turbo, a Power Rangers movie. That is going to be a separate review for another day. We don't want to talk about that monstrosity.
At least not now.
Yeah, we'll wait. Last one for the good guys, at least. Demetria and Zordon, I guess, versus Dop.
Dop is more memorable.
Dop is just... I'm dying. Please become the Car Rangers and help me save and avenge my planet.
Car Rangers, I'm fine. Fuck you. I would love to see an R-rated version of Car Ranger because the amount of fuck yous that would have been in this show.
So good.
That would have been the greatest drinking game. Every time someone has to say fuck you to Dom, drink.
Demetria was just...
You could do that now. You could just say it figuratively.
Demetria, I don't even remember her.
I don't either.
She was...
To be perfectly honest,
She was there for like 30 seconds, and then she left. She came back and she left.
You know who I do remember from Turbo?
Who?
Was it Alpha 6?
Oh my god.
Oh, right.
Yo! Power Rangers! Fucking
yeah, well, they tried to make
90s. They tried to make Alpha 90s.
Remember what I said in the Carranger review about how the mid-90s kind of threw up on Dap when he changed clothes? That's kind of what they did with Alpha's character in this one.
We gotta stop the monster!
Alright. Let's go ahead and get on
No, if F-bombs were appropriate anywhere, that would be a character who could do them.
With that accent? Yeah.
That would have been funny.
The fuck is this, Rangers? You gotta get your shit together.
Let's go ahead and get to these villains.
Alpha 6, voiced by Ice Cube.
It wasn't a good day. But we're not really going to end up focusing on, basically anybody else but Zonnet and Diva Talks.
That's a tough one.
Diva Talks.
I'll give Diva Talks this.
I'm going to have to go to Diva Talks.
Yeah, because she really owned her role.
Yes.
She was hilarious. She owned her role so well. And she's the only villain who legitimately beat the Power Rangers at the end of their season.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's go ahead and get onto this plot.
Whew.
The Power Rangers one at the end fell apart.
Yeah, because they realized that, oh shit, we need a plot.
Yeah, no, it's just because of inconsistency.
Well, they were having fun, just joke here, joke there, and they went, oh shit, we got to end this somehow.
And then, with the plot at the end of, Turbo, it's just the fact that Diva Talks just goes in, destroys the command center, destroys all
sitting on a fucking throne.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about how pimpin' that is?
Yeah, she does all of that. She ends up destroying the robots and everything. She destroys the entire command center.
The best way to put it is, she makes the Power Rangers retreat into space. She has conquered Earth, pretty much.
Except for Justin.
He
can't leave because of his dad. And once again, he's a kid, so they end up going out in space. Do
you think kid actors are more or less expensive than normal actors?
They can't be on set nearly as often. But yeah, it's just like they end up having to leave throughout this, and at the end of their show,
much better show.
They escape to a better show. But it's just like they end up having all that ends up happening. Diva Talks is just like, I destroyed the Power Rangers.
I love how she was bragging about it in the first episode of In Space. Is like, maybe you should ask me for advice because I actually beat the Power Rangers.
I destroyed them.
That was
someone else.
No, she says that, but it is not nearly as great as when somebody else says it next season.
Yes.
Which we will get to in that in comparison.
Which we will talk about so much.
I'll have to mention this now, just because even though it happens at the beginning of In Space, it's the funniest thing ever. when Diva Talks meets Rita again for the first time, and she's like, Rita. I love Diva Talks. Like, people don't like her, and I understand why, because she's just sort of
weird
in some ways, but she is legitimately hilarious. She's so much fun to watch. And
she was the exact opposite of her Carranger, where she was like trying to play her femininities to, seduce the villains to help her, and then the other ones are she's like, do it or I will fucking whip you. And they're like, please don't hurt me. It's great.
A different kind of feminine strength.
Yep. One thing that we did not talk about, how they get their powers. Well, even though it goes into the Turbo movie, we'll talk about it a little bit. They get tricked in Carranger.
Yep.
Which is
hilarious.
It's
and it fits
fucking
the rest
hilarious.
Of the show.
But the Turbo... We're not going to talk about this nearly as much as we want to.
As to quote Linkara, why? What's wrong with the Zeo crystals? They still work.
They get stronger as the more you fight. But in this one, it's just like, for some reason, they went to these other powers.
You kind of have to agree with the nostalgia critic. Toys, buy me. Tell your parents you don't love them unless you buy us.
Yeah, it's a mess how they end up getting their powers in Turbo, because it legitimately makes no sense. This is the problem when you can't go from a new cast to another one, which they should have done at the beginning of Turbo instead of somewhere in the middle. It's just like, they really should just let that one happen.
Yeah, but because they Turbo started with a movie, they had to keep the familiar faces or the fan base wouldn't have come.
True.
They kind of wrote themselves into a corner.
They really did. But yeah, it's just, Turbo had a much better ending than Carranger.
Sure.
But the rest of the show was a mess. Carranger is just like, we are hilarious, you will love us, you will quote us forever. That was that, wasn't it? Yeah, I guess it was. But it's just like, Turbo was a mess until the end.
Yep.
Until like they actually made it like a legitimate serious show when Diwatash just straight up blew up everything. It's a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean...
I always like to point out that the kid got to keep the sentient Jeep thing.
And his powers.
Yeah.
At the very end of the show, because he comes back once next season. But yeah, that's really all that we end up having to say about these two.
Not much else to say.
Not much else to say other than Turbo sucks!
Like, once again, like, from
Theme
now...
song, great. From that point on, no.
Until the end.
Yep.
From now on, we'll actually go ahead and start mentioning the plot a lot
more. Because now we're getting the swapping of...
No, now we're getting an actual plot instead of just Monsters of the Week costumes.
Yeah, and now we can talk about characters that we haven't talked about 3 times already.
Yes.
Because we're swapping the cast out every time.
Yeah.
Thank Christ.
It's becoming so much easier. Thank you, Saban, for finally getting your head out of your ass.
Well, at that point, it's not getting his head out of his ass. At that point, he's finally established Power Rangers as a brand, so people are now coming to Power Rangers for Power Rangers, not to Power Rangers for Tommy and Adam and Rocky and all the other characters.
Who came for Rocky?
Huh? Just names came from... I'm not saying anybody did.
Who came for Rocky?
I'm not saying anybody did. It was just a name that popped. It was the only
Nobody
name that
came
popped in
for
my head.
Rocky.
Oh, okay.
Rocky, we apologize.
Also, remember this toy? Remember this gadget that nobody used? The tracking thing that turned into a gun.
No.
It was used in the movie.
I don't remember that at all.
It was used in the movie once.
But yeah,
So.
that's the end of this episode of In Comparison. Please, please, please join us next time. At least in this show, we end up comparing Megaranger to In Space, where it's finally going to be a thing.
And the end of the Zordon era.
Yes. Well,
technically. But that is our newest In Comparison. If you want us to review Turbo of Power Rangers, maybe let us know in the comments.
We do promise to do it.
Eventually.
More than likely, we're going to do it the week before the actual Power Rangers movie comes out.
And then we're going to do the actual Power Rangers movie.
Yes.
But that has been In
March.
Comparison. We will see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.